The Atlanta Falcons come away with a huge victory against the Texans. Man, we've been all over the Atlanta Falcons all offseason and into this season. We keep saying this team's better than most people think, and I'll get to exactly why, and they proved it in this video. If you're new to our channel, we make videos for teams that don't get the love nationally like they should. Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons are a couple of teams that we've loved this since we've started this channel. People aren't giving them any love, and I think these are two good teams. So when these teams went to play each other, it was like, oh, here we go. We got a little something here. So we're Detroit Lions fans. So we've played the Atlanta Falcons, and we know all about kind of coming up and the rebuild and the whole deal. We've been rebuilding forever. We finally might have it. But here's what I love about the Atlanta Falcons. This is a team that is good. You got to figure out the quarterback position just kind of like long term, but everything else is just so steady because the Lions played the Carolina Panthers today, destroyed them. They're not even in the they're terrible. It's actually like alarming how bad they are. But the Atlanta Falcons, a team that showed up today, and this is why this victory is even better than you think. Number one, Houston Texans are a good team with a good quarterback. Good team, good quarterback, on the rise, hungry for this one, and the Atlanta Falcons come through because here's why. The Atlanta defense was dominant once again. The silver lining about the Falcons' slow starts on offense is that it's made appreciating the team's defense much easier. So here's all I can tell you from a Detroit Lions perspective. The Detroit Lions have been on a tear offensively for the last 15, 16 games. The only team that's even remotely kind of held the offense in check for the last 16 games is the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons only allowed 20 points to the Detroit Lions. They just put up 42 today, right? So, I mean, this team can put up 42. They put up 30 in the first half against Green Bay. Like, it's nothing for the Lions. They're innovative. Jared Goff's playing at a high level, but with the Falcons, everything was difficult because they can stop the run. Now, the Lions still put up some running numbers, but in general, the Falcons are just really good defensively, and it puts you in a position to win. So here's a couple more things on that. Let's look at it here. Time and time again, this unit has limited damage and keeps things close. That's what I've been saying about this Atlanta Falcons team all the way back into preseason, because that was the big storyline, was like, man, this run defense, solid, Grady Jarrett. Everything's just kind of there where you're going to be in games. And that's all you can ask for at this point in the rebuild and trying to get splash players. And then you get, a guy like Bijan really helps you. But that was the case in the first half Sunday, as the Texans could only muster 3 field goals on their 4 drives in Falcons territory. So remember, this is a Texans team that had scored 67 points in their last 2 games, and the Falcons held them out of the end zone until the final moments. You do that, you are going to win games. You do that and don't turn the ball over, you're going to win majority of your games. So, of course, with it being the game-winning touchdown, that doesn't necessarily make things better. Atlanta's coverage was largely superb against Houston's talented weapons. A loss of Tank Dell certainly had an impact. Tank Dell goes down. He's kind of been really their number one, a rookie. But Atlanta, this is why this win is not just, you didn't just beat up on the Houston Texans team, that's like that. They got they were bad for the last 2 years. This is a real team that was just catching their stride, 67 points in the last 2 games, and the Atlanta Falcons defense shows up in a battle of 2 up-and-coming teams. Like, who's better? And, hey, look, you saw how even it was and how hard-fought it was, but at the end of the day, the Atlanta Falcons remain undefeated at home. Manageable game next week against the Commanders. The Panthers are terrible. The Lions are playing the Buccaneers next week. So the Lions could win that game pretty handily. I mean, we'll see, right? But you know what I'm saying? Bucks could lose. Panthers are terrible. Saints we don't know yet. We just don't know what they are. So Atlanta, you are in the driver's seat to the division, which means a home playoff game, which is just incredible to think about. So something we shouldn't lose sight of. The Falcons' investment in their defense this offseason has already paid off. They had a mountain of money to spend. It's hard to argue with a lot of the decisions they made. Though those decisions, they've reshaped the identity of this team and found the balance they've been looking for. Yeah, I mean, when you go to spend money or figure out how you want to spend money in your team, I love what the Falcons are doing. You spend money on defense, you draft splashy offense. That's what they're doing, and it's working. It's like, I don't know, will it work? I don't know if it will work, but it is. So awesome. And then because if you can hit on a Bijan Robinson, where all of a sudden now you've got a real star there, and then hey, Drake London maybe comes on, who knows what happens with the other guys that you've drafted, but for the time being, Bijan's so good that it doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't even whatever, right? So you cut out a couple of the turnovers, and the Falcons really, I didn't dominate the game, but they're a good team that can continue to win because of their defense is going to keep them in every single game. So again, if you're new to our channel, we make videos, dive into teams that don't get the love nationally. Falcons are quietly ahead, leading in this division, control of this division. Nobody's talking about them. If Ritter can continue to improve, obviously in the big picture, grand scheme of like, how far can this team go? Can they win the division? Can they win a playoff game? Like those types of discussions, it comes back to Ritter. But in the time being, and while he's figuring it out, you've got the defense to handle it. So again, we're Detroit Lions fans. Love the Falcons, love the Texans as well. The Panthers are terrible. They should not be that bad either. That's what's crazy. I mean, they don't have terrible players, but coaching's bad. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.